U.S. energy heavyweight Chevron has resumed its exploration for shale gas in northeastern Romania. The company earlier suspended the operation over environmental concerns raised by locals. It now says it wants to build positive dialogue with nearby communities. But as RT's Lucy Kafanov reports, it's an operation that's gone hand in hand with violence and intimidation.
It's a case of David versus Goliath, a tiny Romanian village pitted against a massive U.S. energy giant, Chevron, which is trying to drill for shale gas that's believed to be trapped beneath the ground in the rocks here. Now, that process involves a controversial process called fracking. That means pumping water and chemicals at high pressures into the ground in order to unlock the gas that's trapped inside. The problem, according to environmentalists, is that all those chemicals can contaminate the water, release dangerous methane gas into the air, even cause earthquakes. And that is a risk that these villagers in Punjești here in Romania simply don't want to take. Now, this has been the scene of peaceful protests for more than a month now. The villagers had gathered here to try to prevent Chevron from doing this work. When RT was here last in October, it seemed that the protesters had won. Chevron had announced that it would temporarily, at least, suspend its drilling activities, its exploration activities here. But earlier this week, authorities had taken Chevron's side with brute force.
When the police came, we couldn't do anything to stop them. They surrounded the camp and began hitting and kicking us. They went after everyone here.
We tied ourselves together to form a human chain across the road. The police officers came at us like wolves. They were kicking us and beating us with their batons. I was kicked here. There's another villager who is in hospital now because of how hard they hit him in the stomach.
But now, as we can see over here, Chevron has now resumed its activities, its exploration activities. The police officers are guarding this area. They are drilling, exploring for the shale gas that's supposed to be located here. And we're hearing unconfirmed reports of hundreds of police officers dispersed in this area. We also heard from villagers reports of police officers trying to potentially intimidate some of the villagers, prevent them from coming here, warning perhaps of consequences for them if they continue to protest. Reporting in Punjești, Romania for RT, I'm Lucy Kafanov.
Fracking is also causing uproar across the Atlantic. The U.S. state of Texas has been shaken by several earthquakes recently, with some scientists saying dozens of nearby drilling wells are to blame. Environmental activist and professor at the University of North Texas, Adam Briggle, believes fracking activities should be subjected to more thorough regulation.
What needs to happen is there needs to be more empowerment for those who are most vulnerable to the harms involved here. You know, companies talk about conducting this in a safe way, but there is no objective answer to what is safe. It's a system that's vulnerable to what was called normal accidents. Something's going to happen wrong with it at any time. Now, whether that's too frequently occurring or whether the harms involved are of too great a magnitude, I think reasonable people can disagree on that question. So the real question isn't whether it's safe, it's who gets to determine whether it's safe enough. And on that question, the people who are most vulnerable to the harms involved have to have the greatest say. And so there needs to be sort of restructuring of the political dialogue around this.